Now is Luke Hildyard. He's Deputy Director of the independent think tank High Pay Centre, a group that Laura's been referring to. Luke, these so-called fat cats, they're earning a living just like everybody else, and they're being rewarded for their hard work. This is meritocracy at play, isn't it?
Well, I think these figures have struck a bit of a nerve because they show just how big the gap between the super rich and everybody else has become. As you say, they work very hard. Nobody's saying that they should be paid the same as everybody else. Of course, if you do a difficult job that carries extra responsibility, you should get paid a little bit extra. But clearly, to be raking in the average UK worker's annual salary every couple of days, that's clearly more than anyone needs or deserves. It's evidence that the pay-setting process for executives has become dysfunctional. We need proper reforms to make pay at the top and at the bottom fairer and more proportionate. And we need to remember that, contrary to what the business lobby says, action to do that wouldn't have adverse consequences for the UK economy. But
what are the adverse consequences for people getting paid a lot more than people who are earning an average wage? I mean, what is the social implication?
Well, it just means that the country isn't as great a place to live in as it could be. You've got to remember that these lavish pay packages coexist alongside 1 million people who resorted to food banks to stave off hunger last year. There are nearly 7 million people who live in poverty despite living in a household where at least one family member is working. And I just think that...
Well, these top executives are earning a lot of money and they're being taxed a lot too, and that's exactly the sort of revenue that the government wants right now.
Well, are they being taxed such a significant amount? The top rate of tax in the UK isn't as high as in other European countries. The richest 1% in the UK take more than twice the share of national incomes that they take in Holland or Denmark. This isn't a case of campaigners saying we should be more like Cuba or North Korea. We're saying we should be a bit more like Scandinavia, where the people at the top have a bit less than they do in the UK, and people at the bottom have a bit more. They don't have these terrible problems.
But is there a positive trickle-down effect? For example, these people are earning a huge amount of money. They're therefore spending a lot of money on goods and services in the country.
Well, the OECD now thinks that inequality actually has a negative effect on economic growth. They don't think there is this trickle-down effect. In fact, it's kind of intuitive. Rich people don't need to, if they get more money, they don't need to spend it. They tend to hoard it. If you give a low or middle income household a bit extra in their pay packet, they'll go out and spend it in the productive economy, and that's what creates jobs and growth for the UK.
Right, the fact is we're living in a capitalist society, people earn a lot of money. Is there much that you can do about it? Here you are, an organisation, the think tank High Pay Centre. What can you do?
Well, clearly, as I said, we are living in a capitalist society, but what we're proposing here isn't communism. To say that people that top executives should maybe need to work for a week or, heaven forbid, even a month to earn what most people take home in a year. I think to some extent what happens in this respect is up to us. If we get angry enough about greed and injustice, things will change. I think what needs to be done is we need stronger trade unions, more empowered workers to ensure a fairer distribution of income within organisations. We need more social pressure, public condemnation of the many companies who pay their bosses millions of pounds while refusing to pay their workers the minimum wage. And it would also be good to see some of the people in big business who do have some integrity, who know that this is wrong, it's unfair, disproportionate, to speak out and to say so and to show a bit of leadership.
Luke, thanks very much for your thoughts on this. Luke Hildyard, live on RTE.
Great to be
Thanks
here.
very much.